another breakdown for UFC 267. Another main card fight. This one's at light heavyweight. We got Magomed Ankalaev taking on Volkan Oezdemir. Both these guys going to be even on reach. So I will start with Oezdemir. Been atop the division, I should say, for a long time. At one point, fought for the title, and got a pretty decent last four in. Lost that firefight with Jerry Prohaska in his UFC debut. Jerry's UFC debut. Had some success in the first, but then gets knocked out bad in the second. I mean, it's gonna happen. Jerry is just a stylistic nightmare for anybody, just so unpredictable. But then he had a solid win over Alexander Rakic before that. Not a lot of volume, but Oezdemir was just able to slightly outpoint him. Probably benefited a lot from Rakic had a nasty hematoma on his leg that clearly slowed down his mobility, which mobility is a big part of Rakic's game. So the fact it was a split decision, I guess, could not bode well for Oezdemir, depending on how you look at it. But it was just a technical, kickboxing chess match, and Oezdemir is able to win. Before that, gets a knockout over Ilir Latifi in the second. Oezdemir has a lot of his wins in his career by knockout in the first or second round. And then in that Dom Reyes fight, I thought he won that. It was a split decision, didn't go his way, but I thought he won. Got choked out by Anthony Smith before that in, I believe, the third round. And when he did fight for the title, got KO'd by DC. But on the plus side, Oezdemir's got good hands, good boxing, decent counters, moves pretty well for the division, but he does tend to gas. It seems like he's got a limit on the output. Like if he goes past a round, he's gonna be gassed, but it's not even that. Like sometimes he can keep his cardio to the third. It's just like I said, it depends on the output. It's like it feels like there's a certain amount of punches that once Oezdemir throws, he just slows down significantly. And he ends up losing a lot of his fights that way. Like he'll get knocked out in the second or third, or choked out even once or twice because he just gets tired, and it's much easier to land on him. So it is worth noting. But yeah, Oezdemir, long time, just top seven, give or take a couple spots for the division. So definitely not a guy who is just a bum. But Magomed Ankalaev, a lot of hype on him. I think he could definitely be champion of this division. It would not surprise me. Coming off a solid win over Nikita Krylov, did a lot of things well in that one. Had good top control, good ground and pound, and he's always looked pretty sharp on the feet. Could stand to use a little bit more output on the feet, but he's got some good strikes. When he does set things up well, he's put guys out clean a couple times, which he did to Kutalaba. This is when Ankalaev got a lot of hype on his name. He had that first fight with Kutalaba at UFC Norfolk, and it got stopped pretty early. It was a weird thing. Like the ref kind of thought that Kutalaba was out when he was playing possum. So it gets remade, gets canceled a million times. I'm sure fight fans know. And when that fight finally happened, I was so hyped for it. But Ankalaev just showed why there's hype on his name. Just KOs him in the first round again. And had an awesome front kick KO against Dolce Lujambula. Put him out pretty bad with the kick and then followed it up with the right hook. Decision win over Klidson Abreu. Maybe you'd like to see a guy who you think could be top contender finish that fight, but it is what it is. Finish over Marcin Prachnio. And then his one loss in his professional career and in the UFC was he got submitted by Paul Craig. But Paul Craig, crafty submission game for the division. But stylistically for Ankalaev, very well rounded. Like I said, he's good at setting things up. Doesn't always, execute when he sets up. I don't want to call him low volume, but he could stand to use a little bit more volume. But in fights where his volume isn't up, he'll mix in a takedown or something like that. And he's good at controlling his opponents on the ground. Very good at just keeping it there and landing enough offense, doing enough to where you're not going to get stood up. He can just take over rounds once he gets it to the ground. And what I also like about Ankalaev a lot is he has a very good check right hook that he goes to a lot. I think that could be a problem for Oezdemir in this one, if he was to go to that one. But yeah, Ankalaev just very, very well rounded mixed martial artist, just getting better and better. And I definitely like Ankalaev to win this fight, 100%. We can see on FanDuel the odds reflect that. Ankalaev coming in at minus 340 and trending up money line, but I definitely think that there is room to make money off a method here. If you look at the method props straight up, Ankalaev by knockout, I do like Ankalaev to get the knockout. I think Oezdemir is just going to do what he always does. He's going to tire out. And I don't like Oezdemir's chances in a gunfight with Ankalaev. I think that hook is going to be landing all day. Hooks have landed on Oezdemir a lot, and I think Ankalaev's hook is really sneaky. I mean, Oezdemir kind of keeps his hands high, like, he can adjust well. He's got like a boxing guard, but with how sneaky Ankalaev's check hook is, that check right hook, he's just gonna sneak it in there, and I think there could be some value if you get it like Ankalaev to win in rounds 2 or 3. That could have some value because, like we said, Oezdemir tends to once he fights his good first round, he'll get tired, and that's when you can try to finish him. But I do like Ankalaev by knockout, but for where the value's at, I would do a double chance of just Ankalaev KO or submission, just because I like to hedge against like a club and sub. When it's plus 110 for the KO, and then it's just minus 105 to protect myself from the club and sub, like I'll totally take that because we've seen Oezdemir get submitted before. We haven't really seen Ankalaev work in too many submissions at the UFC, but I'm sure he's got them. And if you got a tired fighter, who knows? That Ankalaev by submission at plus 2600 is pretty crazy. I might have to throw like 5 on that just because he's not a submission guy, but you got a guy who gets tired, and I like him to get the finish. So yeah, I do like Magomed Ankalaev inside the distance, minus 105. I'm going to put at least a unit on that. And I also might do a moneyline parlay of Ankalaev and Volkov. I'm considering that, but I'll have it in a video on Thursday, what I'm going to do, Thursday or Friday, what I'm going to do bets-wise. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sure, subscribe, and take it easy.